All right, so welcome everyone to our first event for this year's UVA Developer Students Club, or DSC. And yeah, we're happy to have you. And yeah, so let's get into it. First off, my name is Abir Kurande. I'm the lead or president for our club. And I'm a second year in the engineering school and I'm studying computer science. We can just go down the list. Yusuf, if you want to go next. Or any of you guys can go next.
Yeah, hi, my name is Emil. I'm a vice lead and I'm majoring in computer and electrical engineering.
My name's Aryan and I'm a vice lead and I'm a electrical engineering and CS major.
All right, I'm Yusuf. Might have heard some of what I said earlier, but I'm an electrical engineering major and I was in DSC last year. A lot of fun, so excited for this year.
Great. And our faculty advisor is Professor Nguyen. I'm not sure, I don't think he's here right now, but he was also a faculty advisor last year, and he's big into machine learning and AI and all. And I mean, maybe later on at some point he can come say hi, but yeah. So I'm just gonna play this quick video. I guess it's best to get an introduction from, the organizers of this organization or club and Google developers. So yeah, and can you guys hear this?
No, I don't think we can hear it either.
Okay, sorry, give me a second. Let's see. How to share audio.
I think if you go in the share screen settings, might be there.
Yeah, let's see. Give me a second. Whoops. Okay, I'll just stop sharing for a second. Sorry about this. Okay.
It should be on the bottom left corner when you start sharing your screen.
Okay, share sound, perfect. Thank you, Emil. All right, I'm gonna share again. All right, now can you guys see this at least? Okay, yeah. And can you hear it? Wonderful.
Hi, I'm Erica.
And I'm Komal. We're from Google Developers, and here to tell you about developer student clubs.
Developer student clubs train thousands of student developers globally and work with their communities to solve real-life problems.
I'm sure you're curious how it works. Google selects amazing students from across the globe once a year to be a developer student club lead and start a club on their campus.
These clubs host workshops to help students learn about Google technologies.
And they work with local businesses, startup NGOs, even their universities to build real solutions for real problems.
These leads believe knowledge is power and that technology can do extraordinary things for the world.
They take on the responsibility to help students learn and empower these students to solve real problems around them.
Through this experience, they not only bridge the gap between theory and practice for students, but leave a legacy of impact.
Join us in building a global community for students.
All right, so yeah, that's that. Just a little introduction, a nice cheerful one. So yeah, so some of the key takeaways from this are that we are a student-run community, and there are these communities at many universities, and we're sponsored by Google and Google developers for anything related to these Google developer technologies, and our main goal is to really just create an environment where we can all work together, learn, and have a positive impact on our community through the projects and things that we do. So we are one of many universities in North America. This list or this map is a little bit out of date. There have been a lot of new programs in the past year, and there are also a lot in Canada as well. And this is the list throughout the world. There are over 1,300 chapters throughout the world, so that's really neat. And yeah, so here's the the layout of the club events and how it's going to be split up. So really for there are two main facets, really just the training and then applying of this knowledge from the training. So primarily in the first semester, majority of the events we have are going to be workshops, and these are going to be all related to various Google developer technologies or just technologies in general. So you see some big terms here like machine learning, GCP, which is short for Google Cloud Platform, AI, Android, and we have these code labs and study jams, which are two types of events we can have. And yeah, that's all of that. And I'll explain a little bit more of other types of events we're going to have. And then another big thing for our club is project-based learning. So, one of the main goals of our club is to convert theory into practice, theory into application. So, what are some practical things we can do with our new skills that we've acquired from this training, and just finding ways to, solve local problems and whatnot. Yeah, so just some general event layouts that we'll have more on this. So with those workshops, these are going to be hands-on. So each of you guys actually gets to work with these technologies yourselves. So whether it's through Google Code Labs, Cloud Hero, or Quick Labs, we used Quick Labs a lot last year. You'll be able to work with these technologies. So for example, in TensorFlow, you have access to this online cloud notebook through the Google Cloud Platform. And yeah, they give you an assignment to do, kind of like you have an hour. And it's really fun. And you really build some concrete skills just from working within an hour. And then we have guest speakers that can come. I mentioned we have Professor Wynn as a faculty advisor, so we can get a lot of faculty who have experience in the real world. And also, we have access to a large network of Google developers and Google experts with these technologies. So whenever we have any of these hands-on workshops, we can supplement it with having a Google developer expert come and show us some of their work, what they've done with it, or they could lead the whole event for themselves and see how it turns out. Additionally, there's always opportunities to collaborate with other organizations here at UVA or in the Charlottesville area. So we always want to keep an open eye for that. And of course, another big thing is project-based learning. So we hope that the members in our club are able to form teams and compete in hackathons, whether it's at UVA or anywhere throughout the world or in North America or whatnot. And lastly, this club is a club at the end of the day. We want it to be fun. So we'll have social events, gaming, whatnot. There's just many opportunities to, get involved and have fun and make new friends, most importantly. So this is one of the big things, one of those big projects that is a great opportunity to, use your newly acquired skills, these Google developer skills. It's the solution challenge. And yeah, as you see here, it's an annual contest presented by the developer students clubs that invite students to develop solutions for local community problems using at least one Google product or platform. So I'm just going to play this video for you guys quickly. And so it's just like a nice hype video. All right, so Now, they haven't formally released the 2022 Solution Challenge, I guess, prompt or template or whatnot. But this previous year for 2021, I myself participated in it. And, we were essentially, the premise that we had was, solve a problem that also addresses one of these UN Sustainable Development Goals. If any of you guys have taken STS 1500, I'm pretty sure you've probably come across these, some of these goals or this UN Sustainable Development track or jargon. So, any problem you solve, you can pretty much find a way to address one of these issues as well. And I'll just say right now, me and a group of other members in the DSC from last year, we actually went ahead and made an app for disadvantaged students to sort of request meals, and generous patrons could donate those meals, and they also had the opportunity to view nearby pantries in a map view or a list view. So, it could be a simple solution, but something that's potentially impactful. And with that, a few of the goals that we addressed were mainly just zero hunger. And your main goal is to tackle at least one. And in the process, we also used one Google technology, and that was Firebase. Now, here's just a general layout of how the process is. So you assemble your team, and the groups are up to 4 people. And your goal is to first identify a problem. It could be in your community, some other community you've previously lived in, or something around the world, or something that impacts the whole world. And then around that, you want to build your solution, and you should incorporate at least one Google product. I mean, of course, the more the merrier. And these Google technologies, they're really prominent, and I would highly recommend using as many as you can. And then after that, you can really just advertise and deploy your work. And then your next goal is to submit a 2-minute video to Google where you address your like what you did, what you tackled, and the main features of your product. And then there will be opportunities. I mean, this 2-minute video is one way to demo your thing, but if you're chosen by Google developers, I believe there's several rounds. One is the top 50, and this is all around the world, and then it narrows down to the top 10, and then the top 3. You're able to, compete against people all throughout the world. And I would say it's not necessarily about the competition. If you ask me, we didn't go anywhere with it, as in we didn't get selected to move forward, but it was still a great opportunity to work with people and also, work with a new tech stack that I didn't previously work with. So I learned a lot in the process as well. Now, a fun fact, so the 2021 top 3 solution challenge winners were actually announced today, but I don't have access to any of the information yet. But here is an example of a team, I believe they're from Germany, Munich, Germany, that won at least like a top placement, a top 10, top 5, top 3 in 2020. So I'll quickly play their video for you. I found it really neat.
Giving a good presentation is really hard. Now imagine this. You are currently in a selection interview for a really big company. You have 2 minutes in which you have to present yourself. 2 minutes that will decide if you will get approved to the company of your dreams or rejected. One presentation that can have a big impact in the future. When we looked around at our local university, we noticed something. Many tutors or people giving presentations have one thing in common. They know a lot and can provide lots of knowledge, but oftentimes the audience just falls asleep. We have asked experts in the field of rhetoric and communication, and what we have learned is that many people focus on improving their content, but they forget one of the most important aspects of presentation: body language and emotions. Now, a presentation without proper body language and emotions is like food without proper seasoning. The problem is that our current education system just doesn't teach us such important soft skills. Getting professional soft skill training is really rare to find and really expensive. We wanted to change this. We created a software that records the presentation, analyzes it, and gives personalized individual feedback and tips to improve your presentation. Using Google Speech API and Google Cloud Sentiment Analysis, we can analyze data about the talking speed, the recognized emotions in your voice, or the content of your speech. With TensorFlow, we can use machine learning to analyze the body language and facial and emotional expressions in the video. In the future, we could add individual training exercises or analyze more aspects of a good presentation. And with today's technical advancements, the possibilities are endless.
Yep, sorry, I was muted, but yeah, as you can see, I think they did some really neat work there. They made advantage of computer vision and using technologies as TensorFlow, such as TensorFlow and Google Cloud Platform to, really make something that's simple but really useful, for in the context of presenting. Who knows, maybe I could use something like this. But yeah, so that's just an example of a project that did really well. And yeah, let's move forward.
Giving a good presentation is...
Okay, whoops. Yep, so actually, it looks like we're nearing the end of our slide deck, but yeah, so one thing I wanted to sort of advertise is that we are still developing our core team. So this involves various leadership positions such as, software engineering consultant, data scientist consultant, marketing team, outreach consultants, and, basic troubleshooters and whatnot. So if anyone is interested in applying, they can scan this QR code or, follow this link, and I'll post all the stuff in the Discord as well. But, it could be a great opportunity for you to, help other students or members in the club. And yeah, just work in a more tight-knit community and help me out as well. So, but yeah, and now I guess we can open it up for questions. First off, I'd like to thank you all for coming out and, listening in. And yeah, if you have any questions, now's the time to shoot. And yeah.
So other than the code labs, are there going to be any mock DSC challenges before that maybe you guys are hosting of smaller but longer projects than the code labs?
Yeah, sure. So outside of code lab, we don't have anything formal yet, but that's a really good idea, like a week-long or month-long solution challenge in our first semester, or over winter break potentially, something like that. One thing that we wanted to do is work with Major League Hacking and Who Hacks and other organizations like that, and sort of advertise their hackathons, which might be occurring second semester or this semester. But that's definitely something we can do. Yeah, so maybe after a few code lab sessions, a few workshops, having that opportunity is something to look forward to. And yeah, thank you for bringing that up, actually.
What are some examples of things that we'd learn, some of the workshops that you guys teach?
Yeah, sure. So, right now off the top of my head, let's see. So for example, with Firebase, it would be something like walking you through either Google authentication, making an authentication for an app, or setting up a Cloud Firestore database. Firebase is one of those things where you can do many things. And we sort of at least give you a demo of how that looks and allow you to like follow along. And for things like TensorFlow or Cloud Query or things like that, those are actual hands-on things. So the structure of that, I believe, is that platform called Quick Labs. It allows you to sort of log into a Google Cloud server, and with either data that's hosted there, they give you some prompts. So for example, with the TensorFlow one last year, it involved doing a binary classification on US Census data. And what your goal was to classify whether a household income is above 50,000 or below 50,000. So I'm not sure if I'm answering your question totally, but it does vary. But our goal is to show you, I mean, one, the basic use is getting set up with it, but also, at a high level, what you can do with it, that particular technology. And as I mentioned earlier, we could potentially extend each of these workshops and have, Google developers or experts come in and talk about what they've done, or they could potentially have some exercises or workshops that they've already designed that we could potentially use. So right now, it's all up in the air as to, and that's a good thing. We can decide how we structure these events as we go forward. But yeah. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, that helps. Thank you.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I'll wait a little bit longer. Let's wait a few minutes just for anything to show up. But yeah. And I would assume all of you guys are on the Discord, but if not, yeah, you have the link right here.